Why do the men love me so much? Men love me so much because they know they can talk to me. Because that's how my mother raised me. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if you shot somebody. I don't care if you killed somebody. I don't care what's going on. You come talk to me. I'm not going to give any names. I'm just going to put it here. I'm going to let it stay here. I'm going to let it stay with you. Y'all know I lived in the state of Georgia for a long time. And everybody wants to talk about all the gayness in Georgia as far as men goes. And all, if you want to hide away, go to Georgia, do this, go do this, whatever. I was in Georgia, and y'all know I told y'all I ran with Neffy a lot. Keisha Cole's mother, I did. I really ran with her a lot. And when I get to that place, I'm going to open up more about me and Neffy, when me and Neffy ran. Because I've been thinking about Neffy lately, even I want to show y'all how comfortable men are with me and why I say I'm the closest thing that you can get to a man. I had made friends with a guy in Georgia, and me and him would laugh all night and we would talk all night, and he was outcasted in that section of Georgia. And it kind of reminds me of Kendrick Lamar, when Kendrick Lamar said he had to do some things in some of his videos or whatever that was against the grain. I had a friend, a male friend in Georgia. He was a straight guy. Um, we lived in this complex. He didn't even live in the complex. He would travel over to my complex, and that's how we became friends. And we talked all night, a lot of nights. We sat in the car a lot of nights. We walked a lot of nights. We talked a lot of nights. We did whatever a lot of nights. He did what he did while we were together, and I did what I did when we were together. And we had this conversation one night. He was a straight male. He said, Maccara, in Georgia. He said, Maccara, I have had to do a lot of things that I thought I never would have to do being a straight male. I said, what do you mean? He said, Maccara, I got a woman in the house. I got a couple of kids. I just had a newborn baby. I got a couple of dogs. I got this and that. He said a lot of times, the baby didn't have Pampers. The baby didn't have formula. The baby didn't have this or didn't have that. He said, I stood out there as a straight male trying to get these things. He said, I couldn't get them. He said, I wasn't able to get a lot of these things until I had to do something weird, until I had to do something strange, until I had to do, I'm sorry, until I had to do something strange for a piece of change. Wasn't no money coming in. I couldn't go back in the house without the formula. I couldn't go back in the house without the Pampers. I couldn't go back in the house without the dog food. I had been standing out there for about 12, 14 hours. I felt him. He had to break down, even though he never wanted to break down. Sometimes people have to break down. But I'm so happy that he confided in me, and he had to get that off. He said there was no way. He said he stood out there all night and day. Nobody ever came. He had the product. He just needed the money. Nobody ever showed up. After 12 midnight, when the shift starts shifting, he said, the freaks come out at night. He said that's how he was able to go back in the house with the pedigree. That's how he was able to go back in the house with the formula. That's how he was able to go back in the house, with the cereal. That's how he was able to go back in the house with the milk, because his wife would have not understood how he'd been out there for 16 plus hours and he didn't make a dime. But sometimes men can stand out somewhere. They could be parked somewhere, and it's true, they cannot make a dime. This why I am a man's best friend, because I understand. Only one thing I would not be understand, was it protected? Because I don't need you running nothing back up in there to her and to the kids or whatever. But for the most part, he said, Maccara, I had to stand out there and do some things that I never in my life thought I would do. I had to come back in with it. Maccara is similar. Maccara is a poodle, and I'll get into that later. But this is why, you know how they say a dog is a man's best friend? I'm a poodle, and I'm a man's best friend. I'm the closest thing that any woman could ever come to a man. That man didn't know me from a can of paint. I was from Illinois. He was from Georgia. Why did he confess to me that he had to do some things that he never ever thought he would do? All these women in Georgia, he didn't tell them this, but he told it to me. He told it to Maccara. He told it to the poodle. I have had to do some things that I never thought I had to do to feed my children, to keep a roof over my head. I have had to do some things, Maccara. And I love you to this day. I will never, ever say who you are. But I'm glad that you released that to me so you could go on. I've been holding that for a long time. I'm so glad that you had a problem and you never could tell it to any type of person, any type of human being, any type of wall until you told it to me. Because I helped you get over what you needed to get over, because I understood that I've had to do some things that I didn't want to do to get where I needed to go. And still ain't went there yet. Thank you for sharing that with me so I could release you, even though I didn't know how I was going to get released. Thank you.